Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-holds-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date with current NHL news, even the controversial. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your hosts, Brad Burud and Blake Friars. Good evening and welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast. As we roll into episode 183, the season's done. The cup has been raised.
Yeah,
and we're here to put a wrap on it and get into an off season that might be more exciting than the hockey season this year.
Yeah, GM week's always good. You got the obviously like free agent frenzy. Well, you got the draft, then free agent frenzy. Then you got then you do those predictions and see where those UFAs are going to go. That's always a fun episode for us, but. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have a lot of big key free agents, so it should be a fun offseason.
A lot of moving parts this year, and quite honestly, I don't even know how they're all going to fit underneath the salary cap, to be honest with you. But last night, Lord Stanley was raised, and that's always an exciting time. Blake, have you touched, seen, and been with the Stanley Cup?
I have. I've been in the Hockey Hall of Fame a couple times, so I've got to see it there. That's in Toronto. I actually in 2009, me and my family were in Cole Harbor and Crosby's first cup in 2009. We got to go to his parade and we got chosen as a family to kind of take a picture with the cup, which was kind of cool. So I've seen it probably 4 times.
Yeah, my first experience with the cup was when Dallas won the cup.
Right.
Ed Belfour pulled up to the University of North Dakota with the Stanley Cup in his Corvette.
In 99?
Yeah. That's your Dallas won, right?
Yeah, 99, yeah.
That's the first time I saw it. The second time I saw it was in, I believe it was 2005. During the lockout, the World Juniors were in Grand Forks. The Stanley Cup was there. I've seen it at the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, lockout, right, yeah.
Yep. I've seen it at the Hall of Fame once, and then I've been fortunate to...
You have been to the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Yeah. And then I was fortunate enough to have breakfast with the Stanley Cup and sit with it a couple times at the award show. So that was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
When did you go up to Toronto?
I went to Toronto in 2008, I think, 8 or 9, 2008 or 9.
What month did you go?
It was in March. We went on a giant hockey trip. We flew to Montreal, saw the Bruins Habs game. Then we bussed to New York City, saw the Rangers against the Flyers. Went over to Long Island, saw the Islanders Penguins. Bussed to Toronto, saw the Maple Leafs Buffalo Sabres. Went to the Hall of Fame, ate at Gretzky's when that was still open. And then we bussed up to Ottawa and saw the Ottawa Senators play the Boston Bruins, and then flew back home. A little bit of a hockey road trip. So
really, that's good.
It was a lot of fun to see that area and to do all that. But so, what did you think of the damaging of the Stanley Cup last night?
It always happens at least once, right? I mean,
God, usually they wait till summertime to freaking.
I mean, tough time to trip there when you're on live TV, but
not as bad as the Memorial Cup. What year was that when the thing?
That was Winter Spitfires.
I was gonna look it up.
I want to say that's 2010.
And that thing just freaking disintegrated.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Well, it doesn't matter, but yeah, that's fine.
I'll look it up. I think it's 2010.
I just remember it like freaking disintegrated. It fell into like multiple pieces.
Drops Memorial.
It didn't even drop. He didn't even drop it though. It wasn't even his fault. The thing came apart.
Yeah, the was it Windsor?
No, I don't know. Who cares? We'll deal with that later. But I don't even know if it was Windsor. I don't even care. I just remember that the poor kid went to grab it and it literally.
Oh, it was Spokane.
But it
2008.
disintegrated.
The top just completely fell off.
God. So did you see the controversy about the Avalanche fan being banned from Ball Arena for spreading his friend's ashes on the ice?
I didn't. I read something about that. I mean,
so I evidently
shouldn't be doing that.
No, but evidently a guy shook some ashes out onto the ice, and the usher asked him what it was, and he said, "I got to be honest with you, it's my friend." And he said, "Well, what do you mean?" And he said, "Well, he passed away, and yesterday was his service, and I spread some of his ashes out there." And I thought about it, and I don't know, man. I don't know. And maybe I'm a little goofy because my wife's a funeral assistant, and so I deal with this and hear her talk about stuff that people do with ashes. So I don't know.
Well, usually like you spread them in a place that you bond with that person, or I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But anyways, he gets tossed out. But he fulfilled his friend's wishes, man. And I thought it was pretty cool.
Like that's a little harsh though. Like the ban, that's kind of tough.
I know. I can't imagine that. How do you? It's it's like the old baseball bullshit when they were banning people from the stadium. Remember that?
How would you even enforce that?
Well, I mean, what? No, remember the story from a couple years ago? You're a baseball guy. You got to remember this. Where they banned a guy from the Dodger Stadium or something for life, or he was banned from every Major League Baseball stadium for life. What was that? What did he do again? What I'm talking about?
I know if you like run on the field, you get banned for something.
So how do they enforce that? What do they have your picture at every turnstile in the freaking stadium? I mean, I don't know how
you would do that.
They like freaking put a sensor in your ass so a big buzzer goes off when you get near this. I don't understand that. Yeah, so what's going on with your Blue Jays freaking coach getting ejected before a game even starts?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go back the day before, so that was the Blue Jays hitting coach, okay? And the game before, the umpire missed a record-breaking 29 calls. 29 blown calls. Like that he called like strikes that were balls 29 times. And the Blue Jays hitting coach went to pass at the lineup card and he just had some words for the umpire the day before. I don't have it. Like, Brad, what would happen to you if you screwed up 29 times in one day at your job? You can find it. It's just like I just think he was holding the umpire accountable, saying that he's did a shit job, and
I'm not arguing with it. I mean, I'm not.
You can't miss 29 calls. You just can't do that.
No. It just baseball seems like a gong show this year, doesn't it?
I mean, I love baseball, and now it's the only thing on, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like we're in the dog days of summer.
I'm not watching it though. I'm watching golf.
Twins are doing all right. You're not watching the Twins?
I won't cheer for them from Minnesota. Can't cheer for that. Okay, it's time to talk hockey. We're here to talk hockey. We're going to talk hockey. Today we're going to wrap on the Stanley Cup, talk about the Avs stopping the Lightning's three-peat NHL coaches shuffle. They keep changing addresses. And we'll go around the league, talk a little awards, Weber trade, Rangers key signing, KHL star heads to try to save the Canucks' lives.
Hey. Whoa, easy.
And a new arena in Ottawa. All right, Blake. The Colorado Avalanche are the 2022 Stanley Cup champions after a dominant 16-4 postseason where they never trailed in a series. I don't know. Could there be a more deserving champion than the Colorado Avalanche?
No, like you mentioned, 16-4. They swept two of their opponents. I mean, in my lifetime, I don't think I've seen a more dominant run. They just had it all. I mean, they didn't even get the best goaltending in the finals.
No, they really did.
I mean, I'm a big Darcy Kemper guy, but I mean,
I wanted Calgary to get him.
What's up?
Him and Markstrom are my 1-2s for goaltenders to go after that offseason.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a big Kemper guy. Always have been. I think that he just had a bad couple games and kind of inflated stats. I mean, he was real good in what game was that? Game 4. He was really good in game 4. I think he had 20 shots against in the first period. Really kind of Colorado was kind of hanging on there. Tampa Bay was really coming to him, but yeah, I mean, he played good enough for them to win, but he wasn't spectacular.
No, but boy, all in all, I mean, this team did everything they possibly can to.
And you gotta think, like, McKinnon wasn't all that dominant either. It was like the role guys that really stepped up. Like Nichushkin scored 5 goals in the finals. You had like Terry Lehkonen with, I think he had 3 goals in the finals. He had the game winner last night. Like it was the role players stepped up. Obviously, Makar had 29 points in the playoffs, rightfully so, winning the Conn Smythe. But I mean, like McKinnon, he looked like there was a lot of times in the finals where he looked real frustrated.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But you know what? I think one of the things that McDavid, McKinnon probably falls into this category. If I think hard, I could probably come up with a couple other players. Crosby probably would fit into this. Our expectations are so high that they're going to be dominant that when they're not for even just a game, everybody's like, geez, what's up with McKinnon? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the whole picture of the playoffs, it's hard to get much better.
Right. Yeah. It's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, they were like,
are higher than if like Nichushkin, who I think was amazing this whole playoffs.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that from him.
No.
So if he won a game with no points, we were just like, yeah. We didn't even think anything of it. But if McDavid or McKinnon or, Draisaitl or Crosby or, there's a whole bunch of them. Artemi Panarin got some heat this playoffs, where if they aren't producing just in even a period, people were like, what's up?
Yeah.
So a little bit different. But Colorado, they rolled through. I mean, they get by game 1, 4-3 in overtime. Kill Tampa 7-0 the next game. Tampa rebounds for 6-2 in game 3. Game 4, Colorado wins it in overtime. Game 5, Tampa Bay wins, and then in game 6, Colorado wins 2-1 in a game that I felt was a lot more lopsided than a 2-1 score.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at that third period. I don't think Tampa Bay had more than 3 shots.
They didn't get a shot. I believe it was somewhere around the 10-minute
14 minutes without a shot.
Yeah.
Season on the line, 0 shots in 14 minutes. It's like, I mean, credit to Colorado. They put on a defensive clinic. I mean, they were just sacrificing, blocking shots, and whatever it takes to win type thing. You saw McKinnon blocking lots of shots there late in the third. And, I just feel good for those older guys like Cogliano and Eric Johnson, Jack Johnson, all those guys that have been in the league for a long time and finally get the cup and get, like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
we wrote Eric Johnson off, I don't know how many times, didn't we?
Yeah. He played a pretty big role for them. I mean, they were without Samuel Girard for a long time. Like, did he even play in the playoffs?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he did.
No?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't know.
Look.
So let's switch gears just a hair. Corey Perry. He's the first player in NHL history to score in a Stanley Cup final with 4 different teams. He's been in the Stanley Cup finals 3 years in a row with Dallas, Montreal, and Tampa. Lost in the finals in all 3.
The first player in NHL history to do that.
That will never happen again. That will never happen again.
No.
Never.
No. 3 years in a row with 3 different teams.
And lose all 3. Now, what do you do if you're Corey Perry?
Well, he's got another year at Tampa.
Oh.
He's got one more
Might
year at
lose in
Tampa.
the finals again next year.
Might.
He might. I don't think that's far-fetched.
No.
So what did you think when he tried to when he jammed his knee into JT Compher's?
I didn't like it, not gonna lie. I thought that was kind of bush league, but like Corey Perry's been doing that a long time.
Yeah, he got the vengeance was given back to him. I think it was the next game he got popped.
Yeah.
Late, and that was it all comes around and goes around. But so let me get your take on the game 4 controversy.
So I saw just a little off top here. Gerard played 7 games.
It must have been in round 1 then.
He got hurt in round 2.
Yeah.
It seems remember when he got clobbered behind the net, broke his sternum?
Yeah. That seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was the second round against Minnesota. It was Delorier, not Minnesota. What is it?
St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah, behind St. Louis's net. I mean, you got hammered.
Yeah.
So, what did you think? Okay, what were you talking about? Game
what did you think of the too many men on the ice overtime goal controversy?
I mean, it's just like I feel like refs. I don't know. I feel like they get a lot of leeway.
Can I give you my scenario on this though,
like
Blake?
Going to the bench, like Kadri had the puck in the offensive zone before McKinnon was off the ice. So yeah, like technically that's too many men, but like 10 times out of 10, they're not calling that.
Completely irrelevant to the play. Completely. And you
then,
know what? If we had a camera though, but like if we had a camera like this on the ice, like just like this happens all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like at the bench, like you see so many guys are changing. They just chip the puck in front of the bench.
Yeah.
Like, and nothing gets called. And then Cooper's bitching.
I don't want him to call that. I don't want
the next game, they called too many men penalty with 2.5 minutes to go.
I'm
like, you gotta be shitting me.
It was though. That one was legitimately too many men on ice. They were playing the puck. The Colorado one was.
Do they get a call though if Cooper doesn't bitch?
Yes, because the guy with the too many men was playing the puck.
Yeah,
there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Do I think coaches complaining or bitching like per se?
It definitely influences the calls.
Absolutely, it does, but I don't think it influenced that one. I really don't, because that one was one of those where it's like, I got to call this. I mean, that one was he freaking played the puck. I don't know. I thought a lot. I thought Cooper made way more out of that than should have been made out of it. Yeah, it was irrelevant to the game.
I feel like Cooper was like doing that a lot this series.
Yeah, I think he saw the writing on the wall. Not that Tampa was bad, but Tampa. I mean, think about it. I mean, they were battling tons of injuries. This team has played 3 years. They've been in I think they said 4 of the last 6 Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals.
Yep.
I mean, when you think about that, how late they play every year, how many games these guys have played every single season.
I mean, eventually they're going to run out of gas. I mean,
so do you think we'll ever see a three-peat again?
Again?
In a salary cap era? Tough.
I don't think so.
I mean, there might. Who knows? I'll say that now. Freaking Colorado.
I mean,
all 3.
If there was a team to do it, this was it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously. Hey, like Colorado could three-peat too.
You know what? We could say that every year. The only year we wouldn't.
They have a lot of work to do this offseason, but they have almost $30 million in cap space to do it. So, like, Kadri's a free agent, Nichushkin's a free agent, Kemper's a free agent. Like, they got a lot of big names.
What it's going to boil down to there is if they make the right decisions on who to part ways with.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make
because you're gonna have to part ways. Kadri, I don't think
know if they can afford to keep Kadri. I think he priced himself out.
I don't think Kadri's back. I don't.
Yeah, like I think they will find a way to keep like Josh Manson and maybe keep Nichushkin, but like, would you bring back Kemper or would you go elsewhere?
I'd bring back Kemper. I still think he's your guy for the long haul. I do.
Yeah.
Put it this way. Let me put it to you this way, Blake. Who are they going to get this offseason that's better than Darcy Kemper?
Well, I mean, they can go maybe Nashville or not Nashville, Anaheim parts ways of John Gibson.
They can't afford him.
What do you mean? He's under contract for 5 more years.
At how much?
I think he's making like 6.5. I'll look right now.
Can you afford that though, Blake?
Well, how much are you going to give Kemper? He's going to get at least 6.
Yeah, probably.
No?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't know what the price tag on Kemper is. I don't know if he heard
John Gibson's making 6.4 for the next 5 years. I would be all over that if I was Colorado.
If Anaheim moves him, they're stupid.
I mean,
there's no way
been willing to go though. Like that's already been out there.
Why would you trade him? Aren't you trying to get better? So you're going to trade one of the best goalies on a great contract, and you're going to get better?
Personally, I wouldn't trade him.
I would. There's no way. I would look at him and say, "Dude, you better like it here because you signed here because we're not moving you."
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Cale Makar gets MVP, or excuse me, Conn Smythe Trophy winner. 29-year-old had 29 points, 8 goals, 21 assists in 20 games in the postseason. Excuse me. And when's the last time we saw that? Back with the Paul Coffey era? I'm throwing out names of players that were before you were born.
Ray Bourque, maybe.
Okay, Paul Coffey. I just pulled it up. Paul Coffey had 37 points in 85. Leach had 34 and 94, and Al McInnes in 89 for Calgary had 31.
Really?
Yeah, those are the 3 more.
Al McInnes had 39.
31.
31.
He won the Conn Smythe the year Calgary won the cup.
89.
Yep.
I didn't know he was that dominant.
Al McInnes, when I was a little kid, when people talked about defensemen shooting the puck, Al McInnes and Al Iafrate were the 2 that they talked about.
Yeah.
Al McInnes had a rocket of a shot and could also move the puck pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, I knew he had a cannon. I mean, I didn't know he was I didn't know he got that much points.
Yeah. He was definitely a big time key cog in the Calgary Flames cup that year. But
yeah, Makar though, personally, I don't think he should have won the Norris. Personally, I think Roman Josi got robbed. But I mean, he was deserving to win the Conn Smythe.
This award always goes to scoring, and
if you go to score, okay, then Josi should have won. Josi had the most historic season ever as a D-man. He had 96 points.
And he plays good defense too.
It's like
he does.
I feel like he's a better D-man than Makar. Playing defense. I think he's better.
Playing defense, probably bad time to argue anything negative against Makar right at the moment.
No, for sure. I'm nitpicking a little bit here, but
I'm still drunk on the success he had. I mean, right now, Blake. I mean, if you asked me right now if I was gonna pick out one guy to build a team around, and I probably would pick him over McDavid.
Well, yeah, because he's young and he's a D man.
Well, McDavid's not old.
25.
I'm just saying. 25, you call that old?
Well, I mean, like he's been in the league for 7 years now.
So what?
Well, I mean, like I would like to build my team up from the back end out.
Me too.
So
I think Makar would be my number one defenseman. I think McKinnon would be my number one forward. And who's the goalie you build from?
that I would build my team around.
Yeah.
That
might be a topic for another day.
It depends. Like, do I want like a young veteran guy, or I want to?
Well, I don't know if the age is relevant in this.
You could take UC Saros. You could take
what?
Huh?
UC Saros would be in your top 5.
You wouldn't build your team. Well, I'm just saying, guys. I would build my team around. It would probably be
any goalie. UC Saros is not on the list.
It'd be Shesterkin. Thatcher Demko would be in that list.
Hasn't won anything.
John Gibson would be in that list.
Gibson would be on the list.
Gibson, Thatcher Demko, Shesterkin, Jacob Markstrom.
There's a lot of them.
There's probably at least 10 I would have. Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Are you off the Hellebuck train?
I don't freaking know what to think about Winnipeg right now. Can I answer that in November?
Barry Trotz didn't even want to go live there.
No, there's more to that. Let's talk about that. Let's just roll right into that, since we're going to talk about coaches next. And Barry Trotz rejected a $7 million salary in Philly, and then also rejected Winnipeg. And he didn't reject Winnipeg because it was Winnipeg. So don't freaking screw your Canadian city over there.
It ain't a pretty place to live.
He rejected Winnipeg because he's coached more than anybody has really in the last decade. And he's got some family things he wants to take care of. He wants to be at home a little bit. And you know what? I respect that. He doesn't have to coach right now. When he comes back, he'll be ready and really good again. And I'd rather have a refreshed Barry Trotz than one taking the job in not knowing how he's going to fulfill the duties. And I just don't know what Winnipeg's going to do now. I don't know who they go out and get. I don't.
Yeah, Bruce Cassidy's gone.
Okay, let's talk about that. Bruce Cassidy. Bruce Cassidy's been hired by the Golden Knights. So
yeah,
Bruce Cassidy is the Golden Knights coach. John Tortorella, hired by the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's talk about this. I don't have much to say on the Bruce Cassidy thing. He was let go from Boston, gets picked up right away by the Vegas Golden Knights. But John Tortorella, when I saw this, I was like, holy cow. He's coached over 1,300 NHL games. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He's a Jack Adams winner. Twice, yeah. I don't know. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
Well, he got a 4-year deal, so they're giving him some runway there, but he already came out and said this is his last coaching gig. I think this is the perfect guy to turn around the ship in Philly. I mean, I think they need to make more personnel moves and shift some players around, and I mean, they obviously need a bounce back performance from Carter Hart, but I think that's a good fit. I mean, Broad Street bullies, Tortorella is a fiery guy. I mean, the fit just makes sense.
Except for they got a lot of horrendous contracts that aren't going to get fixed by John Tortorella.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But if you play devil's advocate, John Tortorella gets the most out of his players all the time.
Well, if anything, it's going to be entertaining
for at least the first 2 years.
It'll be entertaining, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he'll get along with Gritty, but
Peter DeBoer lands in Dallas as the Stars' next head coach.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know how this guy keeps getting jobs.
I don't know. He does.
I mean, he took New Jersey to the Cup. He took San Jose to the Cup. I think he did a horrible job in Vegas.
You know what?
Like, I'm not even knocking on the guy either, but it's just
Did
like,
he get a fair chance in Vegas, though?
I mean, Vegas kind of has a history of that. Jared Gallant didn't get a fair shake there. DeBoer didn't get really a fair shake there. Like,
no,
they
don't
they've
give
been in the league.
players
They've been in the league for what, 6 years? They've already had 3 coaches
and been good.
and they've been good.
I know.
Like, what's the deal with that?
How about freaking Andrew Brunette out in Florida? He's a Jack Adams finalist and he gets canned, and Paul Maurice is in. I like that move, actually. I like it.
Here's the thing. When they fired his assistants, I was like, oh, it's not good for Burnett.
I know.
If a coach better than him comes available, he might be gone. And there was.
And like we had this
I honestly thought that Bruce Cassidy was going to go there or Detroit. I didn't think he was going to go to Vegas. That kind of surprised me a little bit. But, I mean, Vegas got the best coach available other than Trotz.
Yeah. No.
I think that Cassie's a better coach than Maurice.
I don't. I like Paul Maurice.
I mean, look what he did in Boston. He had 6 years, 6 playoffs. He President's Trophy, Stanley Cup berth. Like, the fact that guy is even fired and Sweeney just got an extension today is kind of ridiculous.
Well, look at what he's had to. I mean, look, he had a good base to work with, though, right?
Yeah, but you still like.
I know you still got to get it done. I agree. You still got to get it done. Right?
You made the playoffs every 6 years. You went to a cup. It's like, I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense to me at all.
Here's what I want to get your opinion on. Jay Woodcroft, 3-year extension in Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to give it to him. He just took the team. I
need an honest answer.
He just took a team. Hold on. He just took a team with Mike Smith as their starter to the Western Conference Final. When he took over that team, they were in absolute shambles. I think they lost 13 of 15 games in a stretch where a change needed to happen. And he came in and they won a lot of games under him. Like, he really turned that team around. And I don't think if they fire Tippett, I don't even know if they make the playoffs.
I don't know. You just don't know. You don't know. But
it seems like the Oilers like playing for him.
If he's the coach in 3 years, I don't know, think of something stupid I'll have to do, but I just don't think he survives. I don't think he survives the end of the contract.
Why? Because it's a Canadian market?
That plays a role in it. Yes, it does. Well, the fact that okay, let me ask you this. The fact that the 7th longest tenured coach in the National Hockey League was hired last year.
We already looked. The average length of a coach's career, coaching is 3 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I hope they pay him well, because at least maybe he'll have enough money to buy a toothbrush.
Yeah, I mean, prices here aren't very good. Gas prices are skyrocketing.
Pretty sure you can get a toothbrush at the dollar store. All right, time to go around the National Hockey League, and let's touch on the awards here. We're not going through every single award because we got to get this show done tonight. There's a ton of them, and let's just roll through and let's talk about it. Is there any of them that were a surprise to you? I'm going to roll through them quickly. I'm going to give the winners, and you need to stop me and say, "Hey, I don't agree with that."
Yeah. Okay.
Hart Trophy: Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, Igor Shesterkin were the finalists.
I don't
know what.
I really truly don't think Matthews should have won.
Well, he dominated in points. Like, considerable.
He dominated in points.
First place votes. First place votes. Listen to this.
Yeah, I already read it. It was by a landslide.
Yes, by a landslide.
But like, when
You want to know what scares the living shit out of me? Is Matthew Tkachuk and JT Miller got votes.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Here's why I don't think Matthew
Robertson got votes.
Listen.
Yes, I'm listening.
Most valuable player, right? Most valuable, okay?
Mhm.
Who is more valuable to their team? Matthews or Shesterkin? The fact that it's taking this long to answer is kind of embarrassing.
It's hard. It's really hard when you get to the top ones. It really is. You know what? I'll tell you something right now. Till the day he leaves the league, we'll probably see McDavid as a finalist every single freaking year.
McDavid? Oh, yeah.
And I don't feel like that's right. And now because Matthews won this year, we'll automatically, no matter what, see him as a finalist next year.
Here's what I would have done. Okay.
Matthews
scores 60 goals. Matthews scores 60 goals. Great. There's a trophy for that. It's called a Rocket Richard for the most goals by a player. Igor Shesterkin had one of the best. I think he had the best goaltending statistics season since Carey Price in 2015 when he won the Hart and the Vezina and the Ted Lindsay. Okay. Carey Price won all three of those awards that year. It's very rare for a goaltender to do that. And I think that's Shesterkin. Like without Shesterkin, like that team is in shambles. I mean, the bottom line is like the fact like Shesterkin is more valuable than Matthews.
Probably. But
I just don't understand that.
Does Nashville make the
scored
playoffs?
60 goals? Like, come on.
Does Nashville make the playoffs without Roman Josi? No.
Probably not.
No, I know. He's probably more important. Jonathan Huberdeau in Florida. Probably more important. Probably more important.
I think they could get by without Huberdeau, but I mean, it'd be a big loss.
Johnny Gaudreau in Calgary.
No, I mean.
Yeah, they can. They're going to have to.
He's coming back. Don't worry.
Norris Trophy goes to Kel McCarr, Victor Hedman, Roman Josi. We touched a little bit on this one about both of us feeling that Roman Josi probably deserved this, and he had the most first place votes with 98.
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense to me. How do you get more first place votes and lose? That just makes no sense.
I don't know.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Ted Lindsay Award. Austin Matthews. Calder Trophy goes to Mort Seider. I agree with this one.
That was my pick. I pretty sure I predicted that in the start of the year.
I think we both said that.
I said it was either gonna be him or Lucas Raymond. I think, but yeah, well deserved. That guy's gonna be a stud.
How right was I in Huberdeau this year?
What's up?
I was pretty good on my Huberdeau prediction, wasn't I?
Yeah. How far off was he for that, Ross?
I don't know. I should have looked exactly. I could have. I don't know. Igor Shesterkin wins the Vezina. Markstrom, Saros were the runners up there. That was by a landslide. Yeah, we're not running through the other awards because
Jonathan Huberdeau finished second in NHL scoring, 8 points behind McJesus.
Yeah, one injury.
Tied with Johnny Gaudreau, your boy, for second in the league.
Trade in the league this week. Shea Weber gets moved from Montreal to the Vegas Golden Knights for Evgeny Dadonov. Dadonov finally gets traded. And
did you see what the Ducks tweeted?
No, what did they tweet?
Okay, so you know how the Ducks, Vegas traded Dadonov before the deadline to the Ducks for Ryan Kessler's contract, right?
Yep.
And it got vetoed because
he wasn't.
Anaheim was on his no trade list. So the trade goes through, and Anaheim quote tweets it and said, "Are you sure?" ... So kick out of that. So
pretty good. Dadonov has a $6.5 million salary cap. Shea Weber.
Hold on. Can we just sunny Anaheim was on his no trade list, but Montreal wasn't. What?
You know what? I respect that. He wants to go to a hockey market.
What is going on?
He wants to go to a hockey market.
I ain't a very good one right now.
They're in the Cup Finals a year ago right now.
Hey, God, stop it. Stop it.
What? I'm right.
Stop being sarcastic. Stop
3
being
years
sarcastic.
3 years ago, Colorado had 48 points.
That was not 3 years ago. That was 2014. That's like 7 years ago, dude.
Oh gosh. Rangers re-signed Sammy Blais 1 year, 1.5. And is it just me, or did this? I mean, I think he's a great hockey player.
He didn't play at all this year, barely. He tore his ACL.
He got hurt right away. I think he's a great hockey player. So it's just a 1 year try me deal.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, see what you got. I'm a big Blais fan too. I loved him in St. Louis. So
did I.
Yeah.
All right, I'm throwing the ball into your court on this one. Vancouver signs KHL star Andre
Kuzmenko.
Okay, so fill me in. Okay, I'll give the rundown here. The KHL star is coming off a breakout season where he posted a career high 20 goals, 53 points in 45 games. All right, tell me why Canucks Twitter was like whacking the wagger all day.
They weren't whacking the wagger. It's just like I just think a lot of people on Canucks Twitter were just like kind of taken aback because of what the previous management put the fan base through. Like, when have the Canucks ever got a top European free agent? Never, ever. So it's like, okay, like
Alexander McGillney.
Well, I'm saying, like, in the previous management regime, like it never ever happened. They rarely even signed like big time American free agents or Canadian free agents. So, like, I think it was a big deal. It's only a 1 year deal. I mean,
I just want you to remember, though. Just please do me a favor, though.
I'm not saying he's gonna come in and score 30 goals and light the league on fire, but it's like you get a guy coming in on an entry level contract. He did good in the overseas, and we'll see if it translates. If he doesn't do well, I mean, it's a 1 year deal for $925,000. Like there's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal. I've always said that. There's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal. If he has a bad year, he's off the books, and you don't re-sign him.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Like the Canucks don't have many right shot scorers. You got Besser and Garland, and Besser, Garland, and Miller are already in trade rumors. So it's like the Canucks are going to be one of the most fascinating teams this offseason because the amount of stuff that they can do is off the charts. They have all these guys up for trade, and like this management has no loyalty to any of these players. These are all players that Jim Benning brought in. So like there's no ties, no loyalty. Like honestly, I could see them trading their first round pick. Like and moving up in the draft. Like I don't know. Like Jim Rutherford, I think he's a smart hockey guy. Patrick Alvin, I think he's a pretty smart individual. I like that this management like has a plan in place. I mean, they go out and say, okay, we're gonna sign this is JT Miller's number. This is the max that will go. And if it's over that, we trade him.
So do you think, okay, like, I mean, I'm not trying to change the subject off this Vancouver topic, but you know, I think a good general manager does just what you said. They get a baseline price and say, all right, here's what we're going to offer him. Here's the max we're going to go, right?
Yeah. So
do you think like in Calgary, they say
they go up to Johnny Gaudreau and say, okay, we're going to give you a max of $9 million or 8.5 or whatever, 6 to 7 years. And we're not budging on it. You got to be stern.
And you just let them go. You let them walk.
That's what I think. They'll figure out a deal there. I truly believe that they'll figure something out there. I mean, based off like, you know, if you're a Calgary fan, you pray and hope that Johnny Gaudreau didn't just put up 115 points because it's a contract year. That'd be terrible. But I mean,
if he
that's
comes
some
out
of the risk you got to take. But I mean, his track record's been pretty good.
If you re-sign
JT Miller, on the other hand, this is his only breakout year, And like, if you're the Canucks, you already got Myers on the books for $6 million. You got Ulrich Larson for 7.2, right? You got to pay Pedersen in 2 years. You got to pay your captain at the end of next season. Like, can you really afford to give JT Miller $7 million or like $9 million bucks based off a 100-point season that he just got? I don't know.
I would tell JT Miller, I'll tell you what, we'll give you 8.25.
Yeah, like that's pretty fair market, but like then you got this Brock Besser $7.5 million qualifying offer cloud hanging over you. Like
he's gone.
There's so many moving parts this offseason. I couldn't even tell you what's gonna happen.
Well, there's moving parts in a lot of cities. Vancouver, Calgary, there's moving parts in Colorado. There's going to be a lot.
Since we're talking about Canucks, do you want to talk Hockey Hall of Fame quick? Or is that on your list?
No, it's not on my list. Fire away.
So the Twins and Luongo got nominated in first ballot Hall of Famers. Like I told you, we got to rewind the tapes. We have to rewind the tapes. Because I remember you telling me the Sedins ain't Hall of Famers.
I don't think they are. I think, you know what, though? And I will go to most sports. Most sports let way too many people in their Hall of Fame.
The only one that doesn't is baseball.
I know. And they get criticized.
Baseball, I think, does it right. You got to have 75% votes, and you can be on there for 10 years. But
Pete Rose should be in there.
Pete Rose should be. I mean, what he did was pretty messed up, but I mean... Like honestly, I think that Bond should be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, those guys built the game.
Yeah, but needless to say, I just think Hall of Fames just are too watered down.
For me growing up though, like just watching those three, like those three though. That's why I started watching hockey. Seriously.
Oh, I know, Blake.
Just saying.
You're gonna have to hold,
they got drafted. They got drafted in '99. I was 1 year old.
You're gonna have to hold a Folgers can at the stop sign tomorrow to see if you can raise enough money to fly out to the ceremony. Hey. Ottawa sounds like they're getting a new downtown arena. A preliminary agreement has been put together, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, well, who's gonna pay for this arena? And I went back to Edmonton was the last Canadian arena built, and 30% was paid by the
it's paid by the tax people.
I don't think that's flying right now in Ottawa.
Don't think so?
It's not flying in Calgary. Why is it going to fly in Ottawa? They're more.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised that the TV deal. Or not TV deal, sorry. The arena deal fell apart in Calgary. I was kind of surprised about that.
I think it'll be back. If it's not back, the team will be gone. But I think it'll be back.
Like out of any team in the NHL, other than Arizona, that we already know that situation.
We're not talking about that.
They probably need an arena the most. Like that was built in the 80s, no?
It was built for the Olympics. I believe it was the 84 Olympics. 84 Olympics.
84. Yeah.
84, I think.
Yeah.
No, it was at the 88 Olympics. It was the 88 Olympics because the Flames came in 80.
Right. What? Let me look.
No, because wasn't the 84 was the summer games in LA, I thought.
80.
It's the 88 Olympics.
Calgary.
No. Calgary had the Saddle Dome in 86 when they were in the finals.
1988.
I believe you. I can't see when you do that.
1988. Sorry. It's not picking up. 1988. Calgary Winter Olympics.
They had to have been playing in there sooner, though. Because when Calgary played in the Stanley Cup finals in 86, they were at the Saddle Dome. They weren't playing in the old barn. The Corral Center. They were in the Corral Center.
Saddle Dome was built in 1983.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm like, there's no way. Because the Flames came in 80 and they played 3 years in the Corral. And okay. But anyway.
And then they renovated it in 1994.
Yeah, there's not much more you can do.
No, I mean, Like I like the shape of it, saddle dome. Like I like it's cool. It's cool. It's like the crushed cannon moose jaw, right? I mean, just like I don't
Just
know.
not, it's not cool 30, 40 years later though.
No, they definitely need a new rink for sure.
Yeah. Sounds like 3 years away for Ottawa. And I was thinking about this. Is that about the time the Sens are going to be pretty salty? Good team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the prospect pool, like it's deep. The only thing that I'd be worried about is goaltending. Like I just don't know if they have like
They don't right
maybe
now, Murray, but
maybe Ottawa goes out and signs Darcy Kemper. He's already got a cup.
Have Darcy Kemper and Matt Murray's dollars.
Maybe.
Whatever. They're not going to have $12 million in goaltenders.
Honestly, Brad, I would not be shocked if Matt Murray's bought out this summer.
I don't know. We'll see.
But like think about it. Like bring in like a Kemper or maybe like a Jack Campbell. And put him with that youth.
Well, they got to get rid of Matt Murray. They got to find a way to get rid of Matt Murray. Right when they signed that contract, me and you were like, "That's awful."
We were like, "What is going on here?"
That was bad.
But other than that, I like the way that Dorian's kind of rebuilt this team.
Yeah,
like they stockpiled on picks, they've stockpiled on prospects. Who's that kid out of North Dakota? I forget his name.
I mean, they got multiple ones.
They got Jake Sanderson and
Bernard Docker. Bernard Docker.
The other guy.
He's awesome. Bernard Docker is going to be.
He's a right. Pinto. Shane Pinto.
They got
Pinto, that Jake Sanderson's going to be a stud.
He is for sure going to be a stud. This team's going to be a good hockey team. Really,
give them 3 years, 3 to 4 years. They're going to be good.
Arena's not going to be in downtown, so you don't have to drive forever in the middle of nowhere to go to.
You don't have to drive to Canada.
Wow.
Into a parking lot with nothing around there.
All right, time for 3 questions.
It's time for 3 questions.
All right, my turn this week to fire questions at Blake. And I kind of like my questions this week. Let's see if you do. I like them.
Fire away.
All right. In the Memorial Cup, should the host city be guaranteed a spot?
You kind of have to, because it would be pretty hard to have a tournament of 3 teams. You kind of got to have 4 there. You got to have 4 there to balance it out a little bit.
So every team, okay, hear me out here.
I mean, they got knocked out in the first round. They fired their coach. Now they're was that today?
I don't know. I have a solution though, Blake. So the Quebec, the Ontario, and the WHL all have a champion, right? And they go to the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
But there's a team that loses in the playoffs that's an awesome hockey team. So you take the team that with the most points in each of those 3 leagues, the top one, and they get an invite.
So how about this? St. John is in the final.
I know. It's one of those years. That's why I don't like it.
And they literally lost in the first. It's like 2018. Regina Pats were hosting the Memorial Cup.
I was there.
They lost in the first round of playoffs.
I was there.
Had all those months off. They went to the final and they lost. I think they lost to a Quebec team. I can't remember.
Oh gosh, I was there. Why can't I think of it?
Who was that? Hold on. It's actually blowing my mind.
I was there.
Oh, Cup.
Oh my gosh. I can't remember. Google quick. We gotta go. I don't know. I think there's got to be a better solution. And if you say it's because of the crowds, then you need to put it in a place that's going to get better crowds.
Okay, 2018 Memorial Cup 2018. This is so slow.
Okay, well, let's move on. It doesn't matter. What kind of internet do you have?
I'm just trying to find this.
You still have
Katie Bathurst.
There you go.
There we go.
You don't have dial-up though, do you?
No, I don't have dial-up. I just couldn't find it. I was on Wikipedia.
Okay, question number 2. Would you rather win a Stanley Cup as a role player or make the Hall of Fame with no Stanley Cup championship?
Oh, fuck. That's kind of tough.
No, it's not.
I mean, think like if you win a Stanley Cup as a role player, here's the thing. Like 20 years from now, do you really think people are going to give a shit what Patrick Maroon that won 3 Stanley Cups in a row? Think about this.
Your name's
it depends. It depends what you put. It depends if you want to be known for winning a cup as a role player or being known for your legacy. That's what you got. That's what you got to ask yourself.
I personally would win the Stanley Cup
as a role player or be known as one of the greatest players in NHL history. Think about that though.
I want a cup. That's what you play for.
It takes a team. Sure.
It takes a team.
Sure, but like
it takes a team.
You probably didn't contribute that much.
Yeah, I think in today's day and age, if you're on the, I mean, if you go up and down the Avalanche roster, it's going to be very few guys that you're going to be like, yeah, they could have. I mean, he was irrelevant. I'm serious.
This team was exceptional for sure.
No, look at last year's team. I mean, I believe that in the playoffs, role players have even a bigger role than ever before.
Yeah, I guess. Just saying, like, would you rather be known as a role player that won a Stanley Cup or be known as one of the greatest hockey players to ever play in the NHL? I don't know. That's a tough question.
Okay, here's another question. Will we ever see it? It happened 30 years ago. Will we see it again in the salary cup era? The Philadelphia Flyers acquired Eric Lindros, and here is what they gave up to get Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
Peter Forsberg, Ron Hextall, Steve Duchesne, Kerry Huffman, Mark Ricci, Chris Simon, and $15 million cash, a first-round pick in 1993, which ended up being Jocelyn Thibault, and first-round pick in 1994, which was Nolan Baumgartner. They gave all of that up for Eric Lindros. Will we ever see a deal that big ever again?
Nope.
I agree.
I don't think so. I mean, it's just like, that's crazy to think about, but like, that was a pretty good trade for both teams. I mean, it kickstarted the Nordiques, right? And then I mean,
it was a lot better for the Nordiques.
It was a lot there for the Nordiques
because they won a cup.
What? Oh, Colorado did, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this was the start of those pieces.
Yeah,
it was the start.
It's a crime that we didn't get to see Lindros play a little longer, right? Because of the concussions that he dealt with and stuff like that. I mean, he's one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, look at the points per game. Look at the style that there is nobody right now. Name me one player that scored like Lindros, that was that big, that can fight, that can hit. Name me one.
Well, the game's a little different right now.
Well, I'm saying like that. He was dominant. He could skate.
He was
like, you say like a 5-tool player in baseball, right? He was a 5-tool hockey player. You do everything.
Yeah. No, he could.
There's not, and he's 6'4". Not many guys go like that.
He's about 250 pounds too. 230 pounds probably. I don't know.
Not, like you take Ryan Reeves and give Ryan Reeves goal scoring ability. That's what Eric Lindros was.
Yeah.
Like a big big dude.
Yeah.
That kid motor down the ice and snipe. Like,
Listener
I don't know.
question. Listener question. Comes from Sherman Redden in Calgary, Alberta. It doesn't have to do with the Flames. Okay, I like this question. What will the 2021-2022 NHL season be remembered for?
That we played a full season.
I wrote down two things. First year of the Seattle Kraken. First year of the Seattle Kraken. That's what it'll get remembered for.
Yeah.
I also wrote down first 82 game season after COVID.
Yeah, played a full year. Let's see. 2 emergency goalies coming in this year.
I can remember that by next year, Blake. What are you freaking kidding?
All those game 7s in round 2. I know,
Yeah.
round one. 5 of them in round 1. You don't see that
Was
very
there?
often. Yeah, dude. 5.
Yeah, there was.
5.
But we didn't have any overtime.
5 of the 8.
We're not going to remember this next year, Blake. We're not. We're going to remember it was a freaking first year of the Seattle Kraken. 20 years from now, you're going to be like, what year was that? Yeah, it was year the Kraken started. They sucked.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
I think Brad predicted them to make the playoffs.
What the hell I did? I think you did.
No.
You had them right with you had them playing the Devils, didn't you?
No.
Are you sure? Because
No.
you
Hey, whoa. Before we sign off, I just want to make it known I picked Colorado to win the cup in the preseason and at the start of playoffs. So you got to give me some props for that.
I want to make it known it's the first time Blake's ever been right in the prediction.
That is not true.
Oh,
That's not true.
No.
Who is your predictions?
At the beginning of the year, I had Vegas. At the beginning of the playoffs, I had Colorado.
So I had Colorado, Florida, and then I had Colorado, Florida. Stuck with it. I got the state right.
The freaking Islanders playing the Golden Knights, I think.
They
You
make
like
the
that?
playoffs.
Do you like that? Oh my god,
No.
that's a disastrous prediction. I'm usually better than you.
I was pretty bang on with my team.
Hey, I was good on the Huberdeau thing. We're gonna leave on a positive, right? I was right on the money.
I already
John.
stroked you off for that though.
Yeah, we're back on July 6th, a rare Wednesday night show as we'll preview that draft, and then we'll talk about the crazy free agency period that lies ahead. Things are going to get busy. This offseason is going to be a really, really interesting. Check us out at debatehockey.com and check us out on YouTube and also over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. Yeah, we're there. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche, Stanley Cup champions. Get connected to the Debate Hockey Podcast on all forms of social media. Follow the show on Twitter at Debate Hockey and follow the hosts on Twitter at Brad Burud and at Friars_Blake. The Debate Hockey Podcast can also be found on Facebook, and check out the podcast website for all the current and archived shows at debatehockey.com. Get connected, stay connected for insight, opinions, and yes, controversy. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your hosts Brad Burud and Blake Friars. For more great content and to stay up to date, check out debatehockey.com and on Twitter at debatehockey. We'll catch you next time. This episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast was copyrighted and produced by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.